I'll start out with a little prefacing story. So Katya and I were in the car and we were driving somewhere. And as we were leaving town, she starts looking around the car. And I'm like, what are you looking for? And she goes, if we ever ran out of gas and we don't have money on us, do we have cardboard and a marker so we can make a sign? And I just started laughing, and I was like, are you being serious? She's like, well, I mean, people run out of gas, but they always seem to have a marker and cardboard so they can ask for money. And I assume she knows that most of those people are scam artists. I assume not all of them either, but I thought it was really, really funny. But that got me thinking, do you guys have a personal sort of set of rules or guidelines when it comes to dealing with panhandlers or the homeless and interacting with them?
I'll go first since I started talking first. For me, it really depends on the situation I find myself in. I mean, if it's late at night and it's pretty sketchy, I take precautions to protect myself, protect my wife, or protect my kids, whoever I'm with. Like I won't roll my window down all the way, or I don't want to be caught in compromising situations where I'll make sure I'll step out of my car. That way I'm not, in some type of compromised situation where I'm sitting down or buckled and it's hard to defend myself. I always just talk nice, tell people that I don't carry cash because I don't. Yeah. And usually I always, I talk to them nice and politely decline, or if I have extra food, because, sometimes I've even had it where a fast food restaurant gave me an extra burger or gave me a burger that was wrong. So I gladly give that to people because I want to help people. But doing that, I've had some people say, hey, no worries. Some say thank you for the burger. Some say no to the burger. Some cuss me out and say that I'm a bunch of different slurs in front of my kids. I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I roll up my window and move forward one in the Arby's drive-thru. So there's a wide variety of responses, but I always try and just basically be nice and politely decline unless I have something that I think will actually help them. But I'm more than happy to.
I think that's a good approach, case by case. I mean, as opposed to just a flat, I always give money or I never give money to anyone. They're all horrible people or something,
Yeah, I don't think they're all horrible. I mean, I've definitely seen different people to where there's some, the people that I think are desperate are the ones that will accept anything. And so I'm happy to help. There's others like that won't even accept, like some extra groceries or produce that we had, or like I was saying, extra food from a fast food restaurant. This is pre-COVID, so it's not like they're concerned about COVID. Those people are like, no, I just want money. And then it's like, okay, well, now I'm having a hard time. Like, why do you just want money?
Yeah. Collin?
Well, Grand Rapids is a lot different than here, because if I'm not mistaken, it's illegal to panhandle here and not in Michigan. So I was approached every day walking to or from school or on lunch. Every day. By somebody.
Wow.
There are entire streets dedicated to homeless, but it's not tents. It's just like homeless people hanging out, and it's pretty much night and day. But entire streets that I used to live on, and a little bit down, there would just be like all these, and I don't even... So I quickly learned not to engage any of them. I don't engage. I tell them I'm not rude, but I tell them I don't have anything for them, and I keep walking. I will keep walking away.
It's basically how you're supposed to treat a salesperson.
Or just a stranger. I mean, that's what they are to me. They're a stranger. I don't know intent. I don't know history. The story that they're telling me, every word could be a lie.
Yeah, well, and it's hard because, I mean, the interaction could be completely random. Like, it's hard to guess. It could be they're super polite, they're just down on their luck, or it could be like my former dentist moved out of downtown Salem because his staff was having a hard time getting into their dentist office every morning, and he had a guy that he tried to shoo away, pull a machete on him, and chase him like a block and a half.
Whoa!
So it's like,
whoa!
It's like, you never know how the interaction will be. So, which is sad because a lot of people do need help. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to know who is who and what's going to be a danger to the people trying to help.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've also heard that homeless people. I would love to do a little bit more research into this because I would like to. I'm trying to start a documentary with Phil Castaneda on the homeless, and that would require a lot of research and like what are the key points that creates this, how to possibly cure it. So one thing that I've heard is that homeless people are actually pretty well off because of the no expenses. There was one homeless dude in Michigan who had $5,000 in his bank account, and he's out there every day. Unfortunately, people like that probably ruin it for the really needy people who then aren't given to because of...
I mean, $5,000 though, while might seem like a lot to have in your savings account, isn't necessarily a lot if you need to get into a place and get a new pair of clothes and a job and whatever, and you can't really give up the sign holding. So it's, it's $5,000 is...
Yeah.
And it is scarier, right? Because sure, he makes that leap to do that thing, but then he could just be right back where he was again. I don't know. Yeah. My outlook is similar to Joey's. I don't carry cash. I've given cash away in the past, and my general take on that is like, you very well could be lying about your need for it, but that's not my problem.
Oh, I consider that my problem. I don't want to enable him. So even if I do perchance have cash, I still don't give it to him. I just don't lie and say I don't have cash.
I'm not defensive about it. Just that's my take on it. I mean, and if there is anybody who needs a beer, it's probably somebody that's homeless, I'm being serious. But generally, my main thing I try to do, and I don't want to generalize with anybody because I really don't know the culture that well. And I know it's different for everybody, but I know that it must be, for some people, humiliating to have to ask. And so, not some of them, obviously, and it sounds like maybe your experience, Collin, is quite different, and maybe just the experience of Michigan in general. But I try to normalize it, and give food when possible. Or I've run into like a lady before, she's like, hey, I just need some money for a sandwich. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm hungry, I'll buy you a sandwich. And so we went and we bought a sandwich. And then I knew that I wasn't giving her money to go buy drugs. She needed a sandwich. She was glad to get the sandwich. We chatted about what our favorite sandwiches was. And then it was a normal, I'm hungry, you're hungry, we both need sandwiches, we're both humans. Instead of oh, here, take this handout, Because it is a quick high. Altruism is a quick high for people, and I don't want it to be that. I want it to be genuine. Can't say that it is all the time, but I wouldn't want to feel patronized if I was homeless.
Yeah, definitely. It would be tough to receive some type of handout and then have someone take a selfie with me right there. I'm like, well, it was already humiliating, and I had to bring myself to be willing to ask some random stranger for help. And now they're taking a selfie being like, look at this person I helped.
Mm-hmm. I mean, ultimately what those people need is somebody to inspire confidence in them and show them a little bit of love. And that doesn't have to be monetary. Well, that's my soapbox.